Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss the concept of percentage, a very important concept in financial arithmetic. Let's start from the definition so that you can have a clear concept what is a percentage. As its name indicates percent, a percentage derived from percent. So percent means per hundred. Per hundred. Per hundred means out of 100. Okay. It is also defined as a ratio. It is a ratio. We have already discussed the concept of ratio. A ratio with 100 as a denominator. As a denominator. A ratio with 100 as a denominator is called percent. And there could be any number in the numerator. It is called percent. Okay. It is also defined as I am giving you the multiple definitions so that you can have its concept in every aspect, so that you may not confuse it with the other definitions. Then another definition is a percentage is a percentage is a ratio. A percentage is a ratio expressed as a fraction of 100. As a fraction of 100. It means in a fraction, if there is a 100 in the denominator, if there is a fraction where the 100 is in the denominator, then it is called a fraction, as a fraction of 100. So these are the few definitions that are stating actually the definition of percentage, at what actually the percentage is stated about. So let's find out its how it is basically mathematically represented with its notation and through examples. So what is the notation? Let's see what is the notation of percentage, or what is the how it is basically represented. Uh, Percentage is represented by a it is basically represented by a percent sign. This is a percent sign. Wherever you find this percent sign, it means it is about it is all about a percentage. For example, let's see how it is basically written as. If somewhere it is written as 80%, then how you may read it as? It is read as 80%, 80, and the sign said percent, 80%, or 80 by 100. It means that we have 100 in denominator. It means it is a percentage, and this is numerator. There could be anything in the numerator, but in the denominator you must have 100 in the denominator for a percentage. So 80% means 80%, it means out of 100 there are 80 parts. Out of 100 there are 80 parts. We will discuss it in detail in the next few examples to make it clear. Just for the time you clarify your image about how to read, or how to write it as in mathematical form, or if the percentage is, if somewhere it is given it as, for example, another percentage is 20%. It means it could be read as 20%. and it could be also written as 20 over 100. So wherever there is a percentage sign, you must have 1 over 100 there. So it is represented by 1 over 100. Okay. Another is Another example is 30%. You may write it as 30 over 100. Okay, then 30 into 1 over 100, and what you have to write, this is what? Percentage. Okay, so this was all about the notation and how you will read a percentage and how you will write a percentage. Let's take few examples where we have to find the percentage and how we have to find percentage if some situation is given. Let's take an example, a daily life example. For example, there is a room and there are 100 people in a room. There are 100 people in a room, up to so on. It means there are 100 people in a room. After some time, two people out of 100 people left the room. Okay, after some time, two people out of 100 people have left the room. So how many people are there how many people left in the room? Then in a room, the number of people that remains and the people who stayed in the room are 100 minus 2 equals to 98. It means 98 people are there in the room. Now here we have to find how the percentage of people who left the room and the percentage of the people who stayed in the room. Now let's see the percentage of people who left the room. Who left the room. Now it is clear that there are two people who have left the room. It means out of 100, 2% of the people have left the room. Okay, and now we'll see what is the percentage of people who stayed in the room. Who stayed in room. Now it is obvious that out of 100, 2% of the people have left the room and the 98% of the people stayed in the room. So this is how we find the percentage in daily life if we have a number of people or the number of anything which is total 100 in the number. Other than currently we are just discussing about the 100 people, but percentage can also be used at the places where the number is more than 100. We will see it in the next example. Let's take another example where let's see what is the example. This is also a very easy example to have the concept of the percentage. For example, you have a circle. Okay, this is like this. Okay, and half of the circle is of the color purple. Okay, and 1/4 of it is green, or you may say it's black, and the portion that is left is green. Now we want to find the percentage of the colored portion, that what is the percentage of the black colored portion, what is the percentage of the green colored portion, what is the percentage of the purple colored portion. And we can say from here that that this total circle, we consider the total circle as 100%, and out of 100 we will see that how much portion of the circle is black and how much portion is green and purple. Okay, let's see, let's find it out. It is clear that half of the portion is colored purple. So out of 100, half portion means in the half of 100, half of 100 is 50. So we'll say 50% of the circle is filled with purple color. Okay, and the remaining 50% of the portion, this 50% of the portion is divided into two portions, and these are equally divided. So it means that 50% is purple color and the remaining 50 is divided into two colors, and the remaining 50 out of 100 is divided into two colors. What are these colors? One is the black, okay, and the other is green. And when we divide the 50 into two parts, then each portion will get 25%. Clear? It means that out of 100%, the 50% is the, this is the 50% is the purple color and 25% is the black color and 25% is the green color. So this is how you represent the portion of a certain of a certain thing that is divided into parts, and to find out that which part has covered the how much portion. So this is how we have taken the example of a circle consisting of different colors to check out that which color has occupied how much space. Okay, now we have the few more examples, but here we will also see that how we can represent a percentage in the form of decimal and fractions. Let's have a look at that also. We will start from here, that how we may write a fraction, a decimal, and a fraction and a decimal. How we may write a percentage in the form of fraction and a decimal. Now let's take an example. We have a circle and it is divided into equal parts. Okay, and half of the portion is blue and half of the portion is red. Now when we will write about its percentage, we will say that there are two parts, it is clear that one is red and one is blue. So when we find the percentage of the blue, we will say out of two parts there is the one part that is colored blue. Out of, this is the blue part, okay, out of two parts that is blue and red, we have one part that is blue. So we can write it in the form of percentage as 1 out of 2, it means 50%. 50% of the of this circle is blue and 50% of the circle is red. So this is the fractional form. Fractional form in which we can represent the above circle also. Okay, and this is the percentage form. Okay, fractional form is a form in which we have to write certain number in the form of numerator and denominator. When we express any number in the form of denominator and numerator, it is called a fractional form. It could be 3 by 4, 4 by 3, 5 by 6, or any number. Okay, and the percentage is any number when we write it in the form of percentage. Okay, so another thing is the decimal form. We are discussing the three concepts here: the concept of percentage, decimal, and the fraction, as these are interrelated. So how we will write it as? Now 1 by 2, when we write the 1 by 2 in decimal form, how we may write it? Let's find it out. 1 by 2, we will divide it as 1 by 2 equals to 12.025 10. It means it can also be written as 0.5. So 0.5 is the decimal form. 0.5 is the decimal form. Let's make your concept clear by discussing them through example. We have seen the three concepts here. One is the percentage, then fraction, and then the decimal. Okay, percentage, fraction, and decimal. If you have given a percentage like 4.5%, okay, it can be written in the form of fraction as 4.5 into 1 over 100 equals to 4.5 over 100, as the percentage is equal to 1 over 100, and in decimal form we may write it as 0.045. Now all these are the conversions. How you convert percentage to fraction, how you convert fraction to decimal, and how you convert decimal to percentage, or how you convert percentage to decimal. These are the conversions that we will discuss in our next lecture, that how we can convert these three into each other. For the time being, you must clear your concept that how these are interrelated. When you have a percentage, you may convert it into the fraction by converting your percentage sign of into 1 over 100 by multiplying it by 1 over 100 and solving it to give the fraction. And when we have a decimal, what we will do, we will just divide it in a form that for example, if we have 4.5 over 100, how we will convert into decimal? We will see how many number of zeros are here. As we have two zeros, so it means we will move this decimal 2 points here, and we will write it as 0.045. Decimal will go here, and as there is no digit here, so we will write 0 here. Okay, so this is how we can convert fraction to decimal. So for the time being, it's all from today's lecture, and we will discuss the conversion in our next lecture. Thank you.